morning, class. We've been discussing the revolutionary period of the late 1700s and the early 1800s. We have France, America first, France, and just kind of the time of revolutions. Well, today we're going to look at some of the artistic responses to this. And this is a poem by Edwin Markham. We'll also be looking at the picture that actually inspired this. And they were done later, but they are reflecting back on this time of revolution. Alright, but before we can discuss the historical implications, the cultural background of this, we have to first just understand what the poem's saying. So what we're going to do is we're going to read this poem, and then I'm going to ask you some questions just about the surfacey interpretation of it, and you're going to write it on a whiteboard, and then I'll count 1, 2, 3, and you'll hold it up. So that'll give us hopefully enough time to all count it. Alright, so please read this to yourselves, and it would be at this point that I would pass out the whiteboards to people while they're reading it. Has everyone gotten through the red box? Mm-hmm. Could someone read that? Does someone want to read that out loud for us? Yes?
Bowed by the weight of centuries he leans upon his hoe and gazes on the ground, the emptiness of ages in his face, and on his back the burden of the world, who made him dead to rapture and despair, a thing that grieves not and that never hopes, sullen and stunned, a brother to the ox, who loosened and let down this brutal jaw, whose was the hand that slanted back his brow, whose breath blew out the light within his brain.
Good. Alright, so for this first part, I'm going to ask a few questions. First of all, just some basic stuff. So, does anyone remember, I mentioned it briefly, who wrote this poem? Any idea? Alright, 1, 2, 3. Ready? Very good. Yes, you're right, actually, Markham. Edwin Markham, which is actually a pen name, but if you can remember the pen name, that's fine. Alright, so Edwin Markham. About what time is this discussing? What time period? What century? What? Good, yeah. Good. And it was written in the 1800s, okay? So it was about the 1700s, written in the 1800s. Alright, now kind of more to the poem itself. Who is he describing? What sort of occupation would this person have? What is this person? Yes, Ricky. What type of occupation? Good, yeah, a farmer, a peasant farmer. What does stolid mean? See this word here? Stolid and stunned? What does that mean? What does that word mean? You can kind of get an idea from the line before. Not quite, Anise. Not quite. Not quite. More think emptiness. What does the line before talk about? Oh. It doesn't grieve, it doesn't, not shocked. No hope, no emotion. So Anise is close. It's actually emotionless and impassive. Alright? Yeah. Okay. Dr. Dillon's here. Do you want me to keep going, or is that enough sample, and should I? Okay. So then I'd have more questions about the other stanzas, and then we'd look at this picture. And I just really have one question about this. So this is what inspired the poem you just read. What expression is on his face? Tired? exhausted, no hope. I think that's close to despair, just an emptiness. Good. All right. So then I would go on, and then we would discuss the historical, actual implications of this poem. Okay.